When baby was born, she was jaundiced, so she was a real sleepy baby. And she never really cried until she was about 3 weeks old, I guess. And now when she does cry, she either wants a feed, she's hungry, or she needs to be changed, or she's tired. Yeah. When she's hungry, it's feed me now. It's got a bit of passion behind it. When she's tired, it's a real soft, sad cry, I guess. That's the only way I'd know how to explain it. And apart from that, she's pretty content. So once you learn what they want and when they want it, then you're okay and everything's going to be fine.
When Dana was first born and she kept crying, I did not know what to do. I would try nappy changing, and then I'd try feeding, and then I'd try burping, and then I'd try putting her to sleep, and she would just keep crying, and I literally wanted to shake her. With Dana, I learnt that babies cry. And it was just so much easier with Jaden because I knew babies cry, it doesn't matter. If it's not one thing, it'll be the next thing. So you try the nappy changing, then you do the breastfeeding, then you do the burping, and then you try something else. And if they're tired, you take them for a drive in the car, or you push them around in the stroller, or you just give them a hug. But yeah, you learn that babies cry, and it's all right for them to cry. Just try something else. And if you're starting to get frustrated and you know that you're tired and you're just at your breaking point, just leave baby, go away for 10 minutes, take a few breaths, have a cup of tea, come back and try it all over again, and you'll find that one of those things has worked. And if baby does keep crying, then maybe it's time to go to the doctors, because it might be an earache or something like that.
Yeah, we've had a few problems with crying. Second time around as well. First time around, obviously with Emily, you have no idea with the first baby. We did rush to the hospital once when she was 10 weeks old because we just didn't know what it was. She was crying constantly, which she wasn't used to doing. With Sophie, we're slightly less tolerant, I think, of her crying because it should only be for 4 reasons or whatever. But we've worked out a system that when it gets too much for me, I pass her over to Mike, just to, even if it's just to hold until we figured out what it is.
Well, I take her when Carol's had enough, just hold her, and Carol will go away and have a little break somewhere and then come back to it. So. But
after a few weeks of spending time with the baby, you realise that the cries are distinctive. I know her tired cry, I know her feeding cry now, and a hungry cry. So a lot of it is just spending time with the baby, and eventually, after a few weeks, you do know which cries which.
As we've got to know them better, they're quite different little personalities, but there are times when they both wait together and they both cry together, and you are torn between what you need to do, so you need to prioritise a bit and see who really, really needs her feed that second.
There is a difference though. I know Emma, she will shout at you a lot, and only when she does continually cry, you know that she's ready for some food.
She really needs something, whereas Lucy will get going and that's it. She won't stop until you tend to her. So now Emma has to wait. But they do cry. They cry a lot, and they cry to let you know what they want. They don't cry because they're naughty. They cry because they need a nappy change, or they're starving, or they're uncomfortable, they've got wind. So they're trying to communicate with me, and that's one thing that I found really hard, is that they're trying to tell me something and I can't deal with it then and there.
The hard things in the early days, like when I first brought her home, were the crying, getting used, or trying to get into a routine, the early morning feeds, and like just not knowing what's wrong with her, like whether it's a nappy or she's hungry or she's got wind, or those were the hard. Like I'd do all 3 things, and then if she was still crying, I just wouldn't know what was wrong with her. Well, really, it was better for me to just sit with her like when she was crying, I'd just sit there and try to get used to that particular cry. And then if it was her, I'd check her nappy, and if it was her nappy, then that was a cry I got used to. Like it was just sitting with her and trying to figure out what the sounds of the different cries. Yeah, for like a nappy, for her nappy, it's like a low grizzly sort of cry, and when she's hungry, it's really high pitched. So some of the things that I do to just relieve my stress from it is either, or if I'm on my own, I'll just put her down, block out the crying, turn up the stereo, and just de-stress for about 20 or 30 minutes. Or if my mum's here, I'll just give it to my mum and just go down to my mate's house for a couple of hours, like an hour or two, and just try to not think about it. Then I'll come back and I'll be all de-stressed, and then I can just carry on from there.
One of the hardest things with Liam is that he was quite a colicky little baby. He cried a lot, and it sounded like he was going to scream the house down. At least I thought he was. And he also wasn't sleeping that well. He would sleep for, half an hour or an hour at a time, and during the night he was up way more often than I was told babies were supposed to be up every 2 hours, every hour and a half. And it was quite draining. Because half the time it was a big troubleshooting. I didn't know what to really do for him. I figured if I'd fed him and he was down to sleep and he didn't have a wet nappy, things were okay. But sometimes it wasn't. We actually tried lots of things with Liam with regards to his colic, and I did lots of reading. And once again, in theory it's one thing, but in practice it's a totally different thing. Mostly it was that he just wanted to be held, and we did take him off to the doctor to suss out a few ways of reducing that pain for him, and eventually he has grown out of it. He's a lot better now, and really people did say to me he will grow out of it and hang in there, and I guess that was my light at the end of the tunnel.
Just trying anything at the time, where the baby needs rocking, swaying, in the cot, out of the cot, upright, vertical, horizontal, you name it, whether it's outside, inside, whether the lights are on or off. Just try everything you can possibly have a crack at, and maybe you'll find something. And you may have a lot of fun too, but you may find you'll be really tired, like we did. But I think they're great stories to tell afterwards too, Maybe at a 21st one day we'll remember all these things.